Azure Gleam, the blood-stained lance. The Western Lords suffered defeat at the capital. Cornelia, the instigator of the uprising, flees west and commands her allies, Viscounts Mateus and Gideon, to muster their forces. Hoping to settle this matter before re-engaging with the Empire, the Kingdom Army makes for the Mach region in order to defeat Cornelia and learn the truth of the tragedy of Duscur.
No. My uncle?
I'm afraid so. Among the rebels are houses Mateus and Gideon, and all the other Western Lords from whom I've stripped power. They appear to have appointed Baron Dominic as their leader.
I'm so sorry, Annie. What could he be thinking?
House Dominic may be a mere barony at present, but they're a storied family whose lineage traces all the way back to the 10 elites. Centuries ago, when the wise King Klaus passed beyond the Veil of Death, he did so without naming a successor to the crown. And so, the three regions of the Holy Kingdom, Fargus, Mach, and Leicester, were divided among the three royal princes. House Dominic chose to side with the prince ruling Mach, who was eventually defeated by the forces of Fargus, leaving the once vast Dominic territory to be whittled down, meted out to the neighboring lords.
I know they held a grudge about that in the past, but surely it's ancient history at this point. Tons of people from House Dominic, my father included, have devoted their lives to serving the royal family. It makes me wonder if my uncle's heart is really in this fight.
As they stand now, House Dominic lacks the influence and might necessary to defy their surrounding lords. So when pushed to join the uprising, they would have had little choice but to go along. But that lack of strength might just be the key to our victory.
How do you mean, Gustav?
If we could only convince my brother to change sides, the Western territories would lose their leader. And if we were to follow that up with a decisive victory against a demoralized army, it would likely cause their military effort to collapse entirely.
Perhaps. But it'll be difficult to pry the Baron away without first eliminating those surrounding him.
Indeed. If nothing else, we'll need to turn the tide of war in our favor if we ever hope to empower the Baron to defect. For now, we must consider how best to break through their front. This is no small number of soldiers you offer. Are you sure Duscur can spare that many?
For good or ill, this is what our chief has decided. Preparations will take some time, but we are sworn to aid you, and we will stake our pride as a people on doing so.
Still, this is a far larger force than we ever asked for.
Please, you strove tirelessly to see our home return to us. The people of Duscur have not forgotten the kindness you showed. And though some may still think ill of you, we only offer as many soldiers as volunteered.
Duscur remains a kingdom territory. As such, I can't claim our relationship is one on equal footing. Yet, I want to believe your gracious support here will point the way to a new future for both your home and ours. Give your men my thanks. And once this war reaches its conclusion, I'll be sure to visit Duscur anew.
Understood. I'll be taking my leave now.
To do. None of this would be happening if not for the unflagging efforts of you and Rodrigue.
No, Your Majesty. Neither I nor Rodrigue could have accomplished this. Your sincerity is what won their trust.
I hope you speak true. Nothing I do will ever bring back their fallen loved ones after all.
Yet you have shown us the truth all the same, allowed us to see a better future. Not only me, but everyone from Dusker.
And still, the whole picture remains elusive. A dark secret continues to linger over the tragedy, shrouded by shadow. Shedding light on it is my... No. It is our duty.
Oh, you're awake. Don't worry, it's only been a few hours.
What happened? The last I remember, I was training some of our new recruits.
You got hit by some stray magic. Pretty hard, too.
Yes, that's right. How could I have let my guard fall so carelessly?
Probably the exhaustion. You usually sidestep stuff like that, no problem. Everybody was really worried about you, though. Dedue and Felix in particular didn't know what to do with themselves. Guess the silver lining is that it forced you to get some rest. If only for a few hours.
Apologies for causing such a disturbance. I'm fine now, I assure you.
Uh-huh, sure you are. I know you're just gonna get straight back to work if I leave you be. But hey, take a look around first.
The room is immaculate. Is this your handiwork?
Yep, though we left anything that seemed like it would need your input. Figured we could at least take care of the small stuff while you were out, though. Oh, and everyone, and I mean everyone, thinks you should be taking more breaks.
I'm certainly grateful for the gesture. But how did you find time for this amidst your other responsibilities?
It was easy once we split everything up. Felix, Dedue, and I wrapped up the training session in your stead. Then Rodrigue and Sylvain handled the rest of your paperwork. You might want to glance through it later, though. Ingrid tended to the horses, while Ash and Annette helped organize all your books. Oh, and Mercedes baked some wonderful treats for you. They'll have you back on your feet in no time. What else? What else? Oh, right! We sent some soldiers out to check on the nearby villages, too.
Incredible. I never expected you to do this much.
I told you not to do everything yourself, but you still keep piling more and more stuff on anyway.
That's not true. I've relied on you and the others much more frequently of late. Besides which, this is what I want to do.
You've gotten better, sure, but I'm saying it's not enough. Don't you trust us?
This isn't a matter of trust. I deeply depend on every single person in this army.
Then why didn't you tell anyone else about how you went and buried all those villagers? Everyone was stunned when I mentioned it to them. They want to hear about that stuff from your mouth, not mine.
Yes, My apologies.
If you're really sorry, then you won't let it happen again. Anyway, go get some more rest. And don't try to say you're not tired just so you can keep working.
I see I can't fool you. Though in truth, I doubt I'll be able to doze off again so soon after enjoying my first dreamless sleep in ages.
In that case, come kill some time with me. I'm sure the training grounds will be free by now.
Yes, that sounds lovely. And, Thank you.
Well, well, just the gal I wanted to see. I've got a bit of a favor to ask. You know that special sword you fight with? Well, I was wondering if you'd let me take a peek at it.
Sure, if you want. Can't say I expected this kind of interest coming from you, though. It'd be one thing if it were Dimitri or Felix asking. You know how they get about weapons. But you?
You do remember I'm the heir to House Gautier, don't you? I've been studying the art of combat ever since I was just a kid.
Well, you always skip out on training, so... Anyway, here. This work?
It sure does. What a weird sword. You know what it's made of? It doesn't look like iron or steel to me.
I couldn't tell you. Honestly, I have no idea.
What about how you can make it appear right out of thin air? Is that some sort of magic?
Nah, not exactly. It kinda just comes to me when I call it.
Well, that's vague. One more question then. Would I be able to use your sword if I wanted to?
Doubt it. The thing vanishes the second I let go of it. But hey, why do you want to know so much about it anyway?
I guess I was just thinking how nice it'd be if there were more weapons like yours out in the world. You know, a hero's relic can take down hundreds or even thousands of soldiers in a single swing. Depending on who's doing the swinging, of course. But as soon as the wielder dies, that's it. If you don't have a crest, it's nothing more than a fancy-looking hunk of whatever they're made of. Of course, that wouldn't be an issue if everyone could just use a sword like yours.
Maybe so, but that doesn't make it possible. I mean, there's still so much even I don't know about it.
Right. It's not like you can just make a second one or something.
That's actually a pretty interesting idea. You've given this a lot of thought, haven't you?
Hey, you're talking to the future Margrave Gautier here, remember? Of course I'd think about this kind of stuff. After all, us nobles wouldn't have nearly as much work to do if everyone could fight with the relics. And then I could spend all my time flirting with you instead.
Yeah, not interested. Don't make me tell Ingrid about this.
Harsh, though I do like that about you. Come on, let's see that sword of yours a little more.
Well, how'd it go? Any result's a good result.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. I wonder if this will suit me.
help me break new boundaries.
I think I've learned something new. Not that there's any point in me getting stronger.
Time to work you into shape. Can't wait to see how you do.
How long are you going to keep staring blankly like an idiot? You should eat.
You're right. My apologies.
Let me guess, you're in a tizzy about how best to make use of the Church's forces. Or maybe you're just worried about how our forces will survive the winter. Well, knock it off. A good leader knows when to let their vassals do the worrying for them.
Is that why you left your uncle in charge of House Fraldarius?
Yes. Though I've been returning to the territory the moment any issues arise with his governance.
And your mother? Is she in good health? I imagine it's difficult to manage all the family squabbles on her own.
Oh, she's fine. She's good at that sort of thing. I actually think she likes it. I suggest you focus on your own issues for once, instead of worrying about everyone else.
I'm not sure that's possible. Oh, but that does remind me. I hear the Knights wanted to hold a joint training session.
Forget it. You'll never change. I'd tell you to stop brooding so much, but I'd be wasting my breath.
I cannot afford to lose this war, Felix. I must protect the kingdom. I must avenge the fallen. Each day, we draw ever closer to those who pulled the actual strings. I've already punished any who knew of the plan and did nothing, as well as a number of middle-rank conspirators. But it isn't enough. There are still those who must answer for this crime with their lives.
You are a book with one chapter and no ending. What will you do when you actually have this revenge of yours?
I don't know. But if I can quell their grief and their hate, it will be enough. Do you hate me, Felix? After all, I saw Glenn die. I watched it and could do nothing. His end lies on my shoulders.
That's enough. I don't hate you, okay? You weren't responsible for any of that. They didn't die for your sake. They made their own choices of their own free will. Don't be so conceited.
But surely they didn't want to die. Yet they did so to protect me. Me. I am undeserving of such sacrifice.
I told you to quit brooding and eat. Your food's going to rot if you wait any longer.
Yes, of course.
Mercedes. Good. I need your help.
Felix? Why do you have a cat?
Picked it up?
Yes, I can see that, but... Oh no! Its little leg is hurt! Here, let me have it. I may be able to heal it with magic. should be fine now.
Thanks. Sorry for the trouble.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. Though I must admit, you're the last person I expected to bring me an injured kitten. It reminds me of how my little brother once took in a cat when we were young.
Hey, that's right. You have a brother from a different father, right?
Yes. This was a long time ago, when we both still lived with House Bartels. My brother took in an injured cat, and after it healed, it began living in the mansion. We did our best to feed it secretly so it wouldn't be discovered.
Secretly? What's the big deal with one little furball?
We couldn't let anyone find out no matter what. The people in that house were horrid. Had they learned of the cat, they would have put it in a sack and tossed it in the river. Eventually, my mother and I left House Bartels and never looked back, though we left my brother behind. Still, I've always wondered what happened to that poor little cat.
Animals are smart enough. If the thing felt threatened, it would have taken off.
I suppose you're right.
Anyway, now that you've fixed the cat, I should bring it back to where I found it.
Are you sure? It's clearly taken a shine to you.
Yeah, but I can't keep it. The thing's practically a kitten. What if it has parents that, I don't know, miss it?
Yes, I suppose returning it would be best.
All right, go. Shoo! Come on, get out of here already. Stop rubbing my legs. What is it? You want food? Well, I don't have any.
Ah, that cat really likes him. Animals clearly understand when a kind soul comes to their aid.
Mercedes, do something. This cat won't stop following me.
I'm sorry, but there isn't anything I can do. You'll have to wait until it feels like going home. Goodness, really? Having a cat like you is a good thing.
I'm not sure it is.
Well, so long as you're stuck waiting, we may as well get comfortable and have a nice chat.
You're really eyeballing that giant stack of documents there, Ash. Let me see what you've got. Records of military drills, archives of city taxes. You know, if you're searching for a particular needle in this load of hay, I can help you out.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just thought they'd be good to study.
You're going to study all this?
Yeah. With the academy closed, I haven't had a chance to focus on learning lately. So, I thought I could give my brain a nice workout by reading old records and archives.
Hey, good for you taking the initiative. If it weren't for all this fighting, you and me would be living the schoolboy's dream right about now.
Right? We could be training together, taking classes on history and magic.
And when the ethereal moon comes, we'd go dancing with all the girls at the ball.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
So, are those records actually helping you?
Yeah. The ones on old military drills are especially interesting. It's fun just looking at them.
Just looking, huh? You might want to read a little deeper there. I mean, take this one for example. It talks about how the 3 northern houses held a joint exercise in 1166. And apparently they did so in the middle of a raging blizzard. It was so bad that some of their soldiers died, but they went ahead and did it anyway. Any idea why?
Drills in the snow in 1166. Oh! Were they trying to prepare for a confrontation with Srang?
Nailed it. They were training for the Northern Conquest they carried out a few years later. In other words, they'd already decided to try and take the North by 1166. So, if you look at the other drills during that time, you might be able to piece together what the late king was thinking.
Interesting. You know, another document did mention an exercise conducted in Guinevere.
Because they'd already predicted that Srang forces would cross the mountains, which meant battling in harsh desert terrain.
And that's why they were forbidden from using horses during that drill. It's amazing how you really start to see the bigger picture when you dig into details like that.
And that's why keeping records is so important. Anyway, I've probably bothered you long enough.
No, wait, teach me more. I mean, if you have time.
If you really want to learn, you're better off asking an actual professor type. I'm just, Sylvain.
No, you're a great teacher, and I can always ask them things when we're in the capital, but they won't be around when we're on the march. I just want to learn more so I don't embarrass the other knights. Please?
No, not the puppy dog eyes. Oh, fine, I'll help. But don't expect too much.
Goodness, but that is heavy.
Could you grab the feed over there, Mercedes?
Yes, of course. Give me one moment, please.
Please, don't push yourself if you're tired. I can do it.
Well, we managed to finish. I'm so sorry for leaving the bulk of the work to you.
Do not worry about it. You are always helping me with so many other things. Besides which, I am used to taking care of horses. It barely even feels like work anymore.
I suppose House Galatea is famous for its Pegasus Knights.
Yes, though they are costly to care for, so we don't keep many. When I was a child, I often helped my older brothers tend to both our Pegasi and our horses.
I forgot that you have brothers.
Yes, my eldest brother acts as our father's advisor, while the other serves a different family as a knight.
You must have been very close. It's wonderful.
I suppose, though we hardly ever played together, the age gap was just too great. My eldest brother in particular was incredibly strict with me. Whenever I would try to go horseback riding through the hills, he would say, "How dare you do something so dangerous? What if something happened to you?" What's worse, my father agreed with him. It kept me from getting out on too many adventures as a child. Thinking back on it, I understand their concern. I was the only one in the family to bear a crest, after all.
I'm not so certain your crest was the reason for their concern. I think they were worried simply because they love you. You are the youngest, yes? It's only natural for them to want to keep you safe.
Well, it is true we had a mostly good relationship, but I don't know if I'd go that far.
I'm not so sure. They would have treasured you all the same, even if you didn't bear a crest. I used to fuss over my younger brother all the time when we were little, so I understand what it's like to be an older sibling.
I hear you, but I still don't see the need to be quite so overprotective.
You protest, but I can tell you enjoyed their show of affection. In fact...
Mercedes? What are you doing?
I'm ruffling your hair, since your brothers aren't around to do it.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Come, we should get back to work.
Whatever you say.
Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. Training can be the difference between victory and defeat. Can't wait to see how you do.
Which battlefield are you headed to?
Let's earn our keep. Hope this is one of those easy wins.
Victory will be ours. Together. All right. How can I face my comrades after this?
be a problem anymore.
Leave this to me. I'll do what I must. I have you. That should do it.
You shall pay for this, you hear?
There is not a moment to wait. Don't mind if I do.
For justice! You're through! I have to see this through.
Few knights can do what you do.
Wounds are severe. I have to fall back.
Take a breather.
Let's go!
You'll have to take things from here.
I'll do my best. I'm a little nervous about this.
Let's begin. It's time to move.
We will proceed as planned. We must...
Great. Let's keep it up.
Can't fight like this. I'm bleeding all over the place.
Leave this to me. We don't lose, no matter what. I'll show you what I can do. I have you. A successful conquest.
I'm going.
You'll have to take things from here.
Success. I defy you. Looks like you got one tough fight on your hands.
This is little more than a scratch. I've awaited this moment. I'll hesitate no longer. Restorative's in order.
My turn. The stronghold's ours.
Still in the fight.
luck was on our side today. I won't let myself stop here.
I can't wait to test my newfound strength.
I have a message, Your Majesty. The Imperial Army has begun an assault on former Arendelle territory.
They've caught on to us.
And? How does Arendelle fare?
The force we sent to bolster their defenses still holds the castle, but they're under considerable pressure. They may not hold out much longer.
That bad, huh? Could they have planted spies in our midst at the fortress?
Even were that the case, this would be an odd turn of events. We left sizable reserves guarding both Aryan Road and Arendelle. Under those circumstances, Felix's unit alone would seem enough to keep the enemy at bay.
But this enemy marches under the flag of the Black Eagles. They appear to be the Emperor's personal battalion.
Edelgard's trying to seize Aryan Road personally?
The Emperor has panache, I'll give her that. It takes some real guts to confront the Kingdom and Alliance simultaneously. If you ask me, it feels like quite a roll of the dice for us to keep focusing on the West, while the Imperial threat marches towards us unchecked.
We need to go help Aryan Road. If we don't ride out soon, the fortress could fall.
Now, wait just a minute. What becomes of the uprising in the West if we do that? Of course, we can't turn a blind eye to the Empire's attack either, but taking the sword to these insurrectionists must be our top priority.
Indeed. Considering the relative urgencies of both situations, the trouble in the West takes precedence. That said, the thought of Aryan Road falling into her hands is a difficult one to stomach.
Send forth the Knights of Saros, then. We may be few in number, but even a small force can be all the difference when defending a siege. And given the debt we owe you, the Archbishop will surely not refuse you this favor.
Thank you, Seteth. I'll send an envoy to her at once. Go to Lady Rhea and request reinforcements from the knights at both Arendelle and Aryan Road. Tell her, if Arendelle proves too difficult to pacify, her knights should not hesitate to abandon it. If such an eventuality comes, they're to fall back to Aryan Road and hold the fortress with the others. Understood?
Yes, Your Majesty!
We don't have time to be sitting on our hands either. Let's hurry up and end this rebellion.
Right you are. There's not a moment to waste. We'll begin our war council at once.